So that teacher who got on this app and sounded the alarm about how they were taking children with autism, IEPs, ADHD, anything that caused them to be prohibited from learning at any aspect in elementary school, taking them out of the class and putting them into an alternative school because they were going to be deemed as unable to learn. It turns out she was telling the truth, as Tennessee just came out with a statement as well as a new law that says that this is legal now.
So now our kids are deemed as unable to learn, and it says that the school board officials have passed a new rule into school laws that allows their immediate removal of children with disabilities without prior behavioral assessment. God, the times we live in right now. All right, let's take a listen at what is really going on. I'm AutismMom, and on this channel we talk about autism and everything in between. If you're new here, this is the type of videos we do, and today we're doing another fair use reaction video. Let's take a look at the video.
So that teacher who got on this app and sounded the alarm about how they were taking children with autism, IEPs, ADHD, anything that caused them to be prohibited from learning at any aspect in elementary school, taking them out of the class and putting them into an alternative school because they were going to be deemed as unable to learn. It turns out she was telling the truth, as Tennessee just came out with a statement as well as a new law that says that this is legal now. So when I got on this app and told you that they were in danger, it turns out the danger is a lot sooner than anyone could have expected, as Tennessee just issued a full statement and law saying that they will begin to remove children that are struggling in elementary school under 4th grade, and they will be taken out of this environment and placed into an alternative school to just learn basic life skills and not receive a high school diploma. So yes, the Tennessee Board of Education is now passing a new rule that allows students with disability to be removed from class. And they can be removed more quickly than prior. On Friday, they approved an amended state rule allowing schools to temporarily remove students to an environment such as special education classrooms or even into an alternative school before a formal behavioral assessment is completed or even started. So, a student's individual education program team would have to make the decision to move a student into a more restricted environment. That was prior. Now, that is not what the case is. They can literally just, a teacher has to make the call to move the individual child out of the classroom, and they can do it as soon as they want to. Instead of a last resort, it is now a first resort to remove children with disabilities from the classroom and place them in these separate classes, alienating them because they're not able to learn in the environment that they're in, or it could just be the teacher doesn't have enough patience. As someone who is going through this right now, and I'm not even in Tennessee, I am in Indiana, after my child's first day of school who has autism, they were trying to remove her from the class and put her in special education simply because she did not know them and would not communicate. This is not okay. And for it to be implemented by a school board and not even a fucking state official, honestly, should be alarming for everyone. There is no way in the hell that we are removing students from the classroom before they can have an educated team assess their behavioral disability or their learning disability if they have one. And this is going to affect our Black and brown children, as well as all children with disabilities or all of our little COVID babies that are not really open or receptive to the world right now. If you voted for this, if you allowed this to happen under this new administration, I no longer will ever associate with you or anyone that associates with you either. Because this is a form of alienation. It will set children back. I can't even tell you what I did in elementary school, but they won't be able to get a fucking high school diploma. That is literally the prison to fucking school pipeline in your face. It's disgraceful. I'm disgusted.
Protect the children, protect the children, protect the children. As long as I have breath in my lungs and I'm able to advocate for those who do not have the resources or voice to do so, I will fucking do so. Listen, I don't care if you have 1 child, 12 children, no children, if you are a pet parent, or if you're just a single motherfucker. Protect the goddamn children. I just watched a video from FKA Plant, and what she said shook me to my core. Her mom, an educator that specializes in children with special needs, was told to determine which one of her elementary school students will graduate and which won't. If they are deemed incapable, they are sent to an alternative school. We are talking about babies, kids who are just starting their journey into life, being labeled as if their future is already over. And it gets worse. There's talks of dismantling protections such as the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act and the Education for All Handicapped Children Act of 1975. These laws protect children from the ages of birth up until 21. If they're gone, these children, their families, and their support systems will have almost no way of suing or fighting discrimination in schools. And who gets hit the hardest? Black, brown, and minority children. But all of this is a part of a much bigger plan. Project 2025 and the so-called Big Beautiful Bill have already been slashing funding for public programs such as housing, education, healthcare, after-school programs, grants, women's healthcare, and all of this piles onto families, creating even bigger barriers for children. But do you truly realize what this fuels and the implications it's going to have on children? The school to prison pipeline. When children don't get the resources that they need, when schools, instead of uplifting them, decide to push them out into the side, the children, especially minority children, are funneled straight from the classroom into the courtrooms and to the prisons. But that's been the plan all along. Meanwhile, the birth rate is declining. I wonder why. Women don't want to be forced into marriages or partnerships that don't benefit them. They don't want forced motherhood, and they're speaking out about the realities of pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. And because of that, they're rolling out Project Esther, a push to control women's bodies and limit their choices even harder. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Join me for part 2, where I'll expose how Trump is trying to redefine who is considered an adult under the court of law, and how a Utah Senate President J. Stewart Adams passed Senate Bill 213 in 2024, last year, which reduces the charges of 18-year-olds who have been sexually abusing and assaulting 13-year-olds. That means no prison, no registry, just probation. So until the day I die, I will continue to scream, protect the children. Because if we don't, who will? Certainly not the government. So the next time you guys think that the government wouldn't do something like that, yes, the fuck they would. Make sure that you're not only following me, but commenting, liking, sharing, whatever it is you gotta do in order to help boost this into the algorithm, because people need to know that the children are being targeted. Here's my first update regarding what's going on with the US. As of August 2025, the Tennessee Board of Education has approved a rule change allowing schools to temporarily remove a student with disabilities from the regular classroom before completing a functional behavioral assessment. Typically, federal law, IDEA, requires the assessment first, but educators reported that waiting for it caused logistical delays. Now, the decision can be made more swiftly, but must involve the student's individualized education program team, IEP, not just one administrator like in California. Parents still have avenues to challenge the placement, though. So according to the Tennessee Disability Coalition, current discipline policies, including this one, risk sweeping students with behavioral needs, especially those with disabilities, into more restrictive environments like alternative schools or even the juvenile justice system. These policies often disproportionately affect students of color and those from low-income backgrounds. That was a mouthful. So under the IDEA, students must be educated in the least restrictive environment. That means remaining in regular classrooms with support whenever possible. Shifting them out before proper assessment raises concerns about infringing on these rights. So many states are grappling with the informal removals, undocumented disciplinary actions that sidestep federal IDEA protections. These include calling students' parents to come pick them up early, shortening school days, or unrecorded suspensions. This practice has been flagged by the National Disability Rights Network as off-the-books suspensions that covertly push students out of the classroom. For example, Michigan Parents reported being called repeatedly to pick up their children, sometimes within the first few hours of the school day, for behaviors likely tied to their disabilities. In Florida, schools engage in informal removals like early pickups or shortened days without notifying parents or providing required services. So these cases reflect widespread patterns, not just isolated incidents.
And if you don't believe what you heard, a Fox News host was on TV admitting that they don't want our special needs kids in their school. Take a listen.
About their plan for education in America. I don't hear them talking about making sure disabled kids have access to a public education. I don't hear them talking about impoverished
Because we're against
kids.
it.
I know you are. Thank you for admitting it on such a public forum. They want to end up privatizing it. They want a voucher system, which means that kids who can't get to those schools, don't have enough money to, or frankly want to go to public schools, won't have access. And
if that is not enough, I'll put a screenshot of the article or the website where they have put that in Tennessee. Now that's the new rule. Take a look. Now that you've gathered this information, be aware, stay alert, and let me know what you think about this in the comment section, because I think we have got to work on some type of plan, because now we have gone so far down the rabbit hole of hell that compassion and empathy look like they might be something from the past. But don't quote me, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.